good friend of mine had a little banner and I needed a place to hang it. Well, I got a fence that faces a very busy intersection, especially during the Erie County Fair, and it became the poor man's billboard. Put it up, and it was up for about 2.5 months. There was no problem. All of a sudden, I get a visit from code enforcement telling me that it's a political sign and it's too big and it's not allowed on my fence, and to get it all into my backyard and it has to come down. I told them there's no political overtones, there are no other political signs out. Didn't say vote for Sheriff Howard, didn't say re-elect Sheriff Howard, it just said about the regards to the SAFE Act. Well, that wasn't good enough. I got a warning letter. I then called the town supervisor. Now you got to follow this. I called the town supervisor, who by the way is all on our side as far as repeal of the SAFE Act. He got the town board to go on record prior to this as opposing this. I explained the situation. I said, this is a First Amendment issue. He says, I'll get back to you. Later that day, about 2:30 in the afternoon, he called me back. He says, I did talk to code enforcement and told them to stand down on this because it is First Amendment. There's nothing, there are no other political signs out, and there's nothing regarding it. Disregard the letter. This is the middle of October. I can't tell you the exact date off the top of my head. Fast forward to January 13th, 2014. The town of Hamburg changed political parties. The supervisor is now in the minority. He told code enforcement to stand down on this, follow me on this. The very next day, code enforcement fires off another letter. The sign had to come down within 10 days or I'd be taken to court. This time, I'm in violation of an ordinance that doesn't allow anything on your fence. First it was a political sign, now it's a violation, it's on my fence. How convenient, the very day after the town had a reorganizational meetings and the political dynamics changed, the very next day the letter got fired off, which I received on the following day. Well, anyways, I called the supervisor and I had a little laugh with him. I says, you know, game on, let's do this. And on the 24th, the sign was supposed to come down. Well, the sheriff's banner came down, and we put the one up that you all have seen on Twitter, Facebook, or wherever else that says New York is not SAFE, stop Cuomo, preserve your rights, which I believe infuriated him even more. I did take that, we did take that banner, didn't we, Fred? We took that banner down and we put this one up. He said take it down, I did, we put this one up. About February 5th, I finally get, they didn't want to come to serve me. They sent it certified mail. Couldn't even look me in the face to serve it. I was waiting for it. Okay, we got it. Let's go to court. We go to court. Of course, you know darn well that they all heard about it. And we went to court, and he called me up and he says, I understand you want to plead, you're going to plead not guilty. I said, yes, Your Honor, that's correct. And I'll be back here in 2 weeks with an attorney. I come back with an attorney. Again, we have the courtroom, thanks to all our friends here. I've met a lot of good people over this, believe me. Well, we show up, and lo and behold, the judge had to recuse himself. And I think it's something about his son and law partner is the town attorney. So anything that he might decide might, you know, refer to him. And the other judge in the town is, well, he's a family friend, and we've done business with him. And, well, you know, and so he had to recuse himself. Lucky him. But he's the same judge that got Mr. Bridges over here, and of course Gary got in trouble because of me. So they said, well, we have to put this back to Erie County, and it's got to go to an adjoining town or an adjoining court. Well, from what I hear through the grapevine, none of the adjoining towns wanted to touch it for you know, reasons. Something about Ledoux versus Gillio, 1994, unanimous U.S. Supreme Court verdict where all 9 justices meant that local municipalities cannot enact ordinances which inhibit free speech. I mean, that's 9-0 unanimous. I guess our town thinks that they're the only town that has ordinances that supersede U.S. Supreme Court rulings, I guess. I don't know. Well, lo and behold, it goes to the neighboring village, and the justice over there got the case. On the 45th day, it would have been brought for lack of prosecution after that. So we go there. Okay, same thing over again. Plead not guilty. Come on back here. Finally, the judge says to the defense and prosecution, come up with some mutual agreement or something to this degree, and we'll be back here on the next date. We come back on the next date. Yeah, they came up with something mutually agreed upon. Again, the defense and prosecution mutually agreed on dismissal for 2 reasons. First Amendment, selective prosecution. The judge says, I'll let you know, within a week on my decision. Well, 10 days later, I get a phone call, 9 days later, excuse me, about 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. My attorney calls me. Says the judge denied the motion for dismissal and immediately ordered the sign taken down. Now, I do believe there's this thing called due process. I don't know if this judge heard about it, but there is this thing called due process. Well, my attorney says, I don't think he's got the authority to tell you to take it down. He says, you're right, he doesn't. Even a guy like me with no legal training understands what the law of due process is. Long story short, I said, would you please contact him again to clarify this? Just to make sure I understand, that you denied the motion. Now can we move on, in other words? But in the meantime, which would be September 24th, which was going to be in another 2 weeks, can the sign stay up until we resolve this? He denied it. No, my order stands. Take it down. Okay, well, that's when my attorney went to court. We went to the state Supreme Court to get an injunction. This was Friday afternoon. Tuesday at 12 noon, he's filing the papers. By 3 o'clock, he served all of them. And, well, Thursday morning, we're sitting in the court, ready to go before the judge to get the injunction. Well, long story short, we got it. What I hear through the rumor mill is they were hoping that I was going to defy the judge's order and keep it up and hold me in contempt, which is a crime. And don't think they wouldn't be knocking on my door waiting on my guns right there and then. They were all set to do this. We took the legal route. The judge only had the authority to order it off the fence. If I put it on freestanding in front of the fence, that would have been, out of his, league as far as to order me to take it down, which we intended to do anyway. So, here we go. Back to court again. This time, in the meantime, he had rescinded that. So all of a sudden, that part of the ruling that ordered to take the fence down, or take it off the fence. We get to court. Now, where have you ever had a case where the prosecutor wanted to dismiss and the judge, So anyways, apparently, we wanted a trial. The judge said, why? And he said, and I'll paraphrase what he said to my attorney, what in this, that you've already presented in this briefing, are you going to present at trial? Just like that, which he's already denied. And the judge says, my attorney just says, I'm not going to tip my hand to the prosecution. I'm entitled to it. Now, this is Wednesday evening at 5:30 in the afternoon. He says, okay, Friday morning, 9 a.m., 38 hours, you have to prepare a trial. So, anyways, we showed up. Long story short, I was convicted already. Well, we ended up pleading no contest, and he ordered the sign off the fence. Well, okay, they'll drop the charges. Well, okay, we'll take it off. We were going to put it on a freestanding sign in front of the fence anyways. Little birdie had something a little better. You've all seen the new sign images. Anybody been on Bowerly's Facebook page? Well, you want to take it down? We'll take it down. We were going to put the other one up, put something else on. And that one is more inflammatory than the one they had there. You should have let me keep the one on there. Because now all of a sudden, the banner that was up there, there's replicas showing up throughout western New York all of a sudden. See the one up in Niagara Falls yet? I haven't driven by it yet. But I understand that gentleman has it up there. And I guess there's going to be a banner coming to a town near you soon.